don't like Nicki Minaj particularly. Like, she's not really my favourite person. I don't know the woman, but from what I see, you know, I don't think we'd get on. However, I can't take away that she's talented and she's a beautiful woman, okay? But she was needed. This, what she did, what Nicki came to do, is what we've been waiting for. Because these Housewives shows, the way they do the reunion is Andy does the reunion for the most part. The reunions are very, okay, we're asking you a set of questions. The cast responds to it, and the only person that really kind of might combat what someone says is another member of the cast, and they end up going back and forth. There's not really like an opinion with Andy, and I think people get frustrated with Andy because he doesn't give an opinion. Sometimes it seems like he has his favourites, or he doesn't ask as many questions. Whereas someone like Nicki came in, and she's coming from a fan's perspective of what we see on the show. So she's asking the questions that we ask on Twitter, that we ask on Instagram, that we discuss amongst our friends, and that was needed. That was 100% needed. They need to change that format, in my opinion, to, I don't know, why not have more celebrities that are super fans? Because there are celebrities out there, high-profile celebrities, that do watch these shows. Like Beyonce and them, she watches Real Housewives of Atlanta, she watches Love and Marriage Huntsville, X, Y, and Z. Like, she knows these characters. So I'm sure if, obviously we're not going to get that, but if someone like a Beyonce, I mean, if Nicki Minaj can do it, this has kind of opened the door for a lot of other celebrities that actually are super fans that want to ask questions. So whether it be them coming to the reunion or just doing, you know, doing like a question time with them, like on a Zoom call or something, I don't know. But it could work, okay? Nicki was asking the questions that needed to be asked. Now, it's the way she asked some of these questions, like, I'm surprised that these lot took it, but I guess because she's Nicki Minaj, they're not really going to come for her, are they? Even though there's enough to, if you really wanted to, if Candice was really about the life, the way she says she, you know, she can verbally attack people, you could have mentioned a good 10 things about Nicki Minaj, but you didn't, because you know who you can and cannot disrespect. Okay. Now, Nicki, she got it started from the jump. She was like, Ashley, you didn't really have a storyline this this season. Is that why you came from, you know, newly given birth to come and be messy and do Giselle's dirty work? Now, what I didn't understand was Candice kind of defended Ashley, kind of saying like, okay, she just like gave birth like 2 weeks ago, and then she came. But when she was there, Candice, you definitely said you came here with your breast milk to be messy, da-da-da. So why is it when Nicki says it, you have a problem with it? I don't know. I just felt like, girl, Candice, this is not the fight. This is not the hill you want to die on today. And even Nicki was giving the spice back. She was like, oh, whoa, Candy girl. Whoa. And Candice didn't say shit. That's how you know. Listen, people that are about that life, yeah, are about that life with everyone, or most people. So even if like their mum disrespected them, like Dorothy does disrespect Candice and her husband, she will have the boundary and she'll shut it down. She obviously can't do that with her mum. So clearly you're not about that life as, you know, you claim to be. She was asking about Robin being Giselle's sidekick and potentially wanting to eat her box. Have I not been saying Robin wants to eat Giselle's box? And Nicki was talking about, like, for an amount of money, I can't remember the amount, but it's a lot of money. Would she do it for that money? Robin has been eating it for free, okay? Robin has been eating it for free. And you know what I kind of realised as well? Giselle be out here, they'll be 69 at each other, I'm sure. Scissoring sisters. Because I think Giselle slightly, she fancies Robin as well. This is not even about the money. They would be eating each other out for free. And you know, there is nothing wrong with that. And Nicki was coming up with, you know, the follow-up questions. Like, this is what we needed, okay? Because the questions she was asking and the follow-up questions she was asking, she didn't let these girls get away with these nonsense PR type statements. No. She was asking the questions. So Nicki, I rate you for that. Now, Nicki did kind of go down a slippery slope, or potentially slippery slope, with the conversation about Juan and Michael. Me personally, I don't think there's anything realistically, I don't think Juan and Michael have some secret relationship. I know people kind of joke about it because they have it seems like they have a genuine friendship, Michael obviously really likes one. One seems to like Michael. And they never, every time one of them isn't at a reunion, the other one isn't there. So take from that what you will. But, you know, it was kind of implied that Michael was gay or, you know, wanting to suck one's dick and stuff like that. Do you know what? I don't think Michael is gay. I do think he likes to indulge with men and women, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So it was kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like the one and Michael's relationship, there's nothing wrong with it. So we can't, you know, a straight man having a friend that might be bi or pansexual or whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean they're out here, you know, eating each other's pussy. You know, so I thought that could have gone left, but they kind of steered away from that as the reunion went on. Nicki also asked the women that married older men, so Mia, Karen, and Ashley, if you had like $100 million of your own, would you have married these men? Now, Ashley was like, oh, she was attracted to him. And I'm like, girl, if you don't get the fuck out of here. Because let's just be real. You were 22 years old when you met Michael. Michael, I assume, is in his 60s now. So when he met you, he was either late 50s, early 60s. Are you really trying to tell me that if he did not have money or you had your own money to his level, you would have been checking for him? Now, me personally, I'm quite impartial to like a silver fox, like an older man. I do fancy, like, especially if they're white, like with the silver hair and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So someone like George Clooney, Brad Pitt moved to me. Like if it was that level of, you know, my leg would be up by the end of the day. I'm just being real. Now, if he was a black man, so like just saying Idris, because I'm 31, Idris is in his 40s. I would assume he's like more towards 50 than the 40 side. If someone like that moved to you, are you trying to tell me that you wouldn't have it? Money or not? Let me just say, if someone like an Idris, someone in their 40s, maybe early 50s that looked that good and had money, moved to me, I'm not like as young as Ashley was, but I'm still a young thing. Do you know what I've done? Boom! Boom! Leg up. Both legs up. I can't do that. Sit on the chair, but both of my legs would have been up. I said what I said. Actually, I think if Mia had met G and she had money, I think she would have still dated him, to be honest with you. She just seems like that kind of woman. I don't know. And I don't mean in a bad way. I just think she would have gone for him. Because G doesn't look that old. Like, he's 68, I believe. He doesn't look 68. He looks like, if someone said G was in his 50s, I'd believe it. So I think she would have still gone with him. And I still think Karen would have still gone with Ray as well. Now, Nicki asked Giselle about, she asked about Jamal, and would she have given Giselle, would Giselle have given Pastor R. Kelly a second chance? And she was like, in a heartbeat. And this is the problem, Giselle, because this man has disrespected you from the beginning, and even more for you, because you helped him build his empire now, to be honest. You helped him build the church up. That man has been disrespecting you since you met him, okay? He's disrespecting you, and you will still take that man back. And I honestly believe over the years, she probably has dated other people, but she was probably fucking Jamal on the low, okay? She probably still fucking Jamal on the low, okay? But it's because she's on a show and it's and everything that happened was public, and Monique bringing the binder and stuff like that. If it wasn't for that, Giselle will still be there, okay? For whatever reason, I don't know if Pastor Jamal is out here dicking Giselle down, but for some reason, she is attached to that man. And I'm sure if he wanted to be with her again in 10 years' time, so the baby girl is going to be well into her 60s, she would have it. And she's probably waiting for him. She's still fucking him, okay? Moving on. Nicki even asked Karen, like, why did you say that about Giselle's vagina having, a hot box, which I assume means, it can either mean two things. It's either you got an STD or you out here, like, fucking around. And to be fair, okay, like, Giselle is a grown woman, like, do you know the person she's fucking is Jamal, and he's the one fucking around, so if she got any STDs from him, allegedly. Listen, even Mia got it. She was asking me about the strip club, like, because Mia said if they're serving steak or whatnot at these establishments, then it's not a strip club. It's like an upscale gentleman's club. But if they're selling like chicken and stuff like that, then there's a strip club. Girl, you are there wearing certain types of outfits, going into private rooms with men for money. You're getting paid to do that. There's nothing, listen, if you worked at a strip club, own that shit. You worked at a strip club, you married someone from the strip club, and you're rich now. There is nothing wrong with that, child. If I could be out here selling front or popping my pussy and getting thousands of pounds instead of working for the man every motherfucking day, I would be doing that too. I would be owning it. I would be like, yeah, I was in the strip club. I was out here hoeing. Well, not hoeing, but I was out here in the strip club. And I got my man. Even if I was out here hoeing, yeah, I got my husband, I was hoeing, me and my husband were hoeing together, and now we're happily in love and married with children. It doesn't matter about the journey, it's the destination we're talking about. There's nothing wrong with that. Mia, just be honest. Like, these flip-flopping comments you make, girl, please. The only difference between you, like a regular strip club, and these gentlemen's clubs that you were working at is that the men probably had more money or something, or the clientele was the upscale men. That the principle of the establishment is still the same. Wendy, girl, let me just make this comment about Wendy. Wendy, you did a bit too much, okay? Like, when you brought out the what do you call it? The blown up screenshot of what Robin texted you, I was like, okay. Then you brought out phone records to prove that Giselle didn't call you or whatever it was, and then you were just like the tossing the salad thing, girl. It was just a little bit too much, just a little bit. Like, I don't know if it's because you were gassed because you were sitting next to Andy / Nicki. I don't know if it's because you were trying to solidify your place on the show, because in last season, which was your first season, you weren't really, they didn't really ask you too much in terms of the questions. You weren't really involved in the reunion, so you were like, girl, I need to make sure that I am prominent in this reunion because I want my camera time. But just dial it down a little bit, okay? Like, we were here for you, we're on your side with the Giselle thing, but just calm it down just a little bit, okay? I'm not saying that Wendy did her body for her husband or to get her husband's attention or whatnot. People get augmentations on their body for different reasons, whether it be their breast, she did her bum, I think she got a tummy tuck. There's nothing wrong with that. But, people will ask you, did you do it because of X, Y, and Z? Did you do it for that? And that's just the way it is. And these rumors about Eddie or Eddie liking women's pictures that have big bums and stuff like that, you don't have a big bum. I get, it's normal to be insecure or feel away if that's what your husband is doing. Do you know what I forgot? Nicki talking about, what's her name? Robin, about her, noticing that Robin and Juan had more sexual tension or more sexual energy, and they looked like they were more of a couple compared to other seasons. I don't know what show Nicki's watching, because did he not tell her that her like laying in bed all the time was unattractive? I'm just be honest, I don't think Juan fancies Robin. I'm not saying he doesn't love her. I'm not saying that they just give me best friend vibes, to be honest with you. I don't know what it is. I don't think she wants him like that, and I don't think he wants her like that. They're probably together out of comfort or convenience or financial, because that's what, they were living together for financial gain, but they weren't really together. So we'll see if they get married, because I don't think so, to be honest with you. Anyway. Now, Nicki was being shady towards Candiace initially. I can see that. So I see why Chris was a little bit upset. you know, after the fact. Because he said he didn't like the line of questioning because it was shady when she was talking about, you know, what chart did it go on, how high did it place, she was being shady, let's just be real. However, Candice didn't react to Nicki's shade. She caught onto it, but she didn't react, just like she did early on when she said, "Whoa, Candy girl," because Candice is not about that life, okay? She's not stupid. She knows if she came for Nicki and they went back and forth, the bar would be on her ass. But let's just be real. Nicki gave her a good opportunity to sell herself. Now, Candice can sing, okay? She might not be like a Whitney Houston, but very few are, to be fair, you know. And you can tell that she was nervous and she probably didn't expect to be put on the hot seat to sing because of like she was, you know, stalling. At first she was like she didn't really want. It showed that she really didn't want to sing. She was probably nervous, probably had anxiety because not only are you just performing to your castmates, you've got Nicki Minaj right there and you've been put on the spot. But if you are you're an artist, you have to be able to sing. I'm sorry. If someone asks you to sing, you have to motherfucking sing. And she did well. She did well to the point where Nicki couldn't even like be shady, and even like people like Mia, who was being shady as well, she couldn't even be shady because Candice sang well. Oh, I even forgot. Yeah, Candice talked about not Candice. Nicki talked about Candice's mum and her relationship with Chris. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. Dorothy will make you lose your husband. What do you call it? Candice. I don't know if it's you need to get her off the show. I don't know if you need to check her. Obviously, I'm not saying disrespect your mum, but my mum wouldn't do that. my mum knows how to behave herself, not just because she's on TV, but because she's talking about my husband. Meaning I have to face my husband with stuff you said, and I have to look at my in-laws and his children, and my mum is basically blasting their dad. It's not a good look. But yeah, that's all I've got. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share all that good stuff, and I'll see you for the next review. Bye.